Shalom, shalom, shalom. Peace and blessings, family out there, Jew and Gentile alike. Uh, First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to the eternal Father of heaven and earth, Yahweh Bahashem Hamashiach Yahweh Shah. All praises due. Um, and peace and blessings to all of you out there. Today, family, we're going to go ahead and continue the segment that we've been in, and just further go into details on Mystery Babylon in America, and Mystery Babylon being America, and as well as us in our deliverance. And last, I brought out Isaiah 14. So I am going to get into more of Isaiah before I go back to Revelations, because it does have a lot more to go over. I'm going to go over Isaiah 10 and 11. And I also want to put a quick disclaimer out there. If you're listening in, this is a Law of Liberty channel. We believe in the law of liberty like the scriptures tell us to. And we don't uphold the laws of Moses because we are fulfilling the law by faith in Hamashiach, Yahweh Shah, right? And, Hamashiach came not only to save his children, but the entire world. And that's what we preach here. That's what we deliver, and just spreading the good news. So, hang in there, and that's for anybody who's new to the channel or tuning in. So all praises. I pray that you find what you're searching for, and this message helps you just as much as it helps me and many others. So with further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into the scriptures, and we're going to go into Isaiah 10. Now, Isaiah 10, and we're going to start in verse 1. And it reads, "What sorrow awaits the unjust, judges and those who issue unfair laws." So, and it started right off with a banger, right? Not only did the Assyrians and the Turkish people today, their descendants, they issue unfair laws, and so does America, Mystery Babylon. And the thing is, we gotta obey those laws until Hamashiach comes. That's the righteous thing to do. Not every law is right, but the laws that we are under, we have to obey them until he comes, right? We don't want to cause any ruckus or anything that might cause trouble, right? Just do what you got to do, in this land. We know some of the laws are unfair, but it is what it is. It says in verse 2, "They deprive the poor of justice and deny the rights of the needy among the people. They prey on widows and take advantage of orphans. What will you do when I punish you, when I send a disaster upon you from a distant land? To whom will you turn for help? Where will your treasures be safe? You will stumble along as prisoners, or lie among the dead. But even the Lord's anger will not be satisfied. His fist is still poised to strike." And the next section goes over Judah judgment against Assyria, right? Because the Assyrians, they're the ones that took our land and oppressed us for, however much time it was. And they're going to get judgment too, right? And their descendants, I can already say the Assyrians, the ancient Assyrians, they got their judgment already. But the fulfillment still has to come to pass because their descendants inhabited the land now, right? So, like the scripture says, they will, they're gonna get that judgment as well, because they're still in our land, still, you know, won't let it go, right? So, the Most High, all praises, He's gonna get us back to our land. And it says in verse 5, what sorrow awaits the rod of my anger? I use it as a club to express my anger. I am sending Assyria against a godless nation. And so he did as such, right? Because, they overtook our land. And against a people with whom I am angry. Assyria will plunder them, trampling them like dirt beneath its feet. But the king of Assyria will not understand that he is my tool, right? So, just like he's doing now with Iran and BRICS, right? He's doing this, right? He's making them come against America. He's putting it in their hearts, right? They don't even realize they're a tool of the Most High. All praises. And it says his mind does not work that way. His plan is simply to destroy, right? That's what the Syrians was, right? To cut down nation after nation. He will say, each of my princes will soon be a king. We destroyed Kalano just as we did Karishim. Slakia, there's some words in here. Karchemish, right? Haman fell before us as April did, and we destroyed Samaria just as we did Damascus. Yes, we have finished off many a kingdom whose gods were greater than those in Jerusalem and Samaria. So we will defeat Jerusalem and her gods, just as we defeated Samaria with hers. Right? So they took over Samaria, which is in Israel, in Jerusalem, right? It says, but they took over Jerusalem entirely too. That's exactly why the descendants are there now, right? They think they can just dwell in something that wasn't even theirs in the first place. And it says, verse 12, after the Lord has used the king of Assyria to accomplish his purpose on Mount Zion and in Jerusalem, he will turn against the king of Assyria and punish him, for he is proud and arrogant. Right? He boasts, by my own powerful arm I have done this. Right? He boasts off of the power that the Most High has given him. The Most High have given people to put us in captivity. Remember, we are his people, but we rebelled, so we had to pay the price, right? We had to pay the price, and although Hamashiach did what he did, we still are paying for the uttermost farther now. That's why we're still here, right? But, people boast off of that, and people did what they wasn't supposed to do, like in Mystery Babylon. They did a lot more than what they were supposed to do. So it says in verse 13, he boasts, by my own powerful arm I have done this. With my own shrewd wisdom I planned it. I have broken down the defense of nations and carried off their treasures. I have knocked down their kings like a bull. I have robbed their nests of riches and gathered up kingdoms as a farmer gathers eggs. No one can flap a wing against me or utter a peep of protest. But can the ox boast greater power than the person who uses it? Is the saw greater than the person who saws? Can a rod strike unless a hand moves it? Can a wooden can walk by itself? Therefore the Lord of heaven's armies, will send a plague among the Assyrian proud troops, and a flaming fire will consume its glory. Right? So that brings me back to like the Syrians. They received their judgment back then too as well. But once again, their descendants are in our land right now. So it's nothing new under the sun. It's all going to happen over again. It says in verse 17, the Lord, the light of Israel, will be a fire The Holy One will be a flame. He will devour the thorns and briars with fire, burning up the enemy in a single night. The Lord will consume Assyria's glory, like a fire consumes a forest in a fruitful land. It will waste away like sick people in a plague. Of all that glorious forest, only a few trees will survive. So few that a child could count them. Right. So, and the ones that are in our land right now, which are descendants once again to the Syrians and Turkish people, they are gonna get a heck of a judgment, right? Um, but you know, Jerusalem won't be destroyed, right? It won't slide. It'll be destroyed, but it won't. It will be rebuilt, right? The ruins will be rebuilt, and it says, "Hope for the Lord's people." In the day the remnant left in Israel, the survivors in the house of Jacob will no longer depend on allies who seek to destroy them. All praises. We're no longer going to be, depending on America, right? We're no longer going to be depending on anybody in this world, right? Because we're going to be the Lord's glory risen upon the whole earth. We're going to be the lender and not the borrower, like I think it says in Deuteronomy 28, I believe. So we're no longer going to depend on other nations. We're no longer going to be under subjection to them. And look at this. It says in verse 21. Slot. Let me do 20 again. It says, "In that day, the remnant left Israel. In that day, the remnant left in Israel. The survivors in the house of Jacob will no longer depend on allies who seek to destroy them." Right. The remnant who is here, right, and who will be risen from the graves. We're all going to go back to our homeland. And it says, "But they will faithfully trust the Lord, the Holy One of Israel," right? That trust, that faith, right? Exactly what we have now. It says a remnant will return. Yes, the remnant of Jacob will return to the mighty God, right? But though the people of Israel are as numerous as the sand of the seashore, only a remnant of them will return, right? Those are the true believers, right? Dead and buried, right? The ones that are going to be in the grave, that's being risen up, those are the ones that are going to come with us, right? The ones that are here at Hamashiach's coming, right? The remnant, true believers. That's why I said it's going to be a remnant, because it's not going to be much, right? There's millions of Israelites on this earth, right? But that some of them are rebellious. Some of them are going to continue to do the same thing. That's why I said 2/3 of our people will be cut off, right? They're gonna take in, whatever happens to America. They're gonna have a full effect of that, right? That's why we teach His word so strong. We spread the good news, because the Most High, He says He'd rather for you to turn away from your wicked ways than seek to get judgment, right? Anybody that calls on the name of the Lord and repents and seeks forgiveness is forgiven. That's it. That's it, man. Along with the worst, you gotta show them, like, hey, at least turn away from what you're doing, right? He's giving this warning to us, man. This is serious. It's a good thing for the elect. It's a righteous thing. It's going to be a glorious day, but it's going to be a very dark day for the unbelievers, right? So it says 22, "But thou, the people of Israel, are numerous as the sand of the seashore. Only a remnant of them will return. The Lord has rightly decided to destroy His people. Yes, the Lord of heaven's armies has already decided to destroy their entire land. So that is what the Lord of heaven's armies says. O my people in Zion, do not be afraid of the Assyrians, when they oppress you with the rod and the club, as the Egyptians did long ago. In a little while my anger against you will end, and then my anger will rise up to destroy them." All right. The Lord of heaven's armies will lash them with his whip, as he did when Gideon triumphed over the Midianites at the rock of Oreb, or when the Lord's staff was raised to drown the Egyptians' army in the sea. In that day, the Lord will end the bondage of his people. He will break the yoke of slavery and lift it from their shoulders. All praises, and we patiently wait until that time, right? He's gonna break the yoke, you know, and that's what the breaking of the yoke is. Like, yeah, Hamashiach is coming back, right? But these things, man, he's gonna make a way for us to get up out of this land. And we are nobody when this stuff goes down, you think people are gonna be out going to their jobs, right? I mean, in a certain extent, maybe, right? But look what's going on in Jerusalem over there now. They just got hit with a strike, you know, and it's horrible. It's really horrible. You never know when that dome might fail and one of the missiles might hit, right? It's a very dark time for them, and America is going to be the same exact way, right? Prophecy, right? And it's nothing hate speech to America, because this message goes out to everybody who accepts it. All praises, you're going to be protected, right? It's just that it's written, it's prophesied that this land is going to be destroyed, and that's exactly what it is, right? So it says in verse 28, look, the Assyrians are now at Aiath. They are passing through Migron and are strong in storing their equipment at Michmash. Slakia. I think that's that word. Verse 29. They are crossing the pass and are camping at Geba. Fear strikes the town of Ramah. All the people of Geba, the hometown of Saul, are running for their lives. Scream in terror, you people of Galam. Shout out a warning to Lanash, O poor Anathoth. There go the people of Madamia, all fleeing. The citizens of Geban are trying to hide. Then the enemy stops at Nob for the rest of that day. He shakes his feet beautifully, Mount Zion, the mountain of Jerusalem. But look, the Lord of heaven's armies, will chop down the mighty tree of Assyria with great power. He will cut down the proud, the lofty tree will be brought down. He will cut down the forest trees with an axe. Lebanon will fall to the mighty one. All praises. And the same things, history likes to repeat itself, right? Like the Most High said, there's nothing new under the sun, and they're right back in our land again. Same stuff is gonna happen, we're in captivity once again, right? Like we was in the old days, and the Most High is gonna free us from this off once and for all, right? All praises, all honor and glory goes to Him. In Isaiah 11, I think we can get through this. Definitely. All right, so Isaiah 11, and starting in verse 1. And it reads in the font up top, a branch from David's line. And it says, out of the stump of David's family will grow a shoot. Yes, a new branch bearing fruit from the old root. And the Spirit of the Lord will rest on him. The Spirit of the wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, of knowledge and the fear of the Lord. He will delight in obeying the Lord. He will not judge by appearance, nor make a decision based on heresy. He will give justice to the poor and make fair decisions for the exploited. The earth will shake at the force of his words, and one breath from his mouth will destroy the wicked. All praises. We all know who it's talking about, right? Yahushua. It says, verse 5, He will wear righteousness like a belt and truth like an undergarment. In that day, the wolf and the lamb will live together. So now it's going to describe some of the things that will appear in the kingdom that we have never ever seen before here in this materialistic realm, right? It's going to be things that we've never ever seen before, and it's going to explain it. You know, it says in that day the wolf and the lamb will live together. It's just giving examples, right? So there's no longer going to be murder and killing in the kingdom, right? None of that. It says the leopard will lie down with the baby goat. The calf and the yearling will be safe with the lion, right? And the little child will lead them all. The cow will graze near the bear, right? In this land, they feed on each other. Why? Because they don't have men to feed them, right? The proper things to give them, right? I don't know if y'all noticed, but in these zoos, you don't see no lion attacking no human. Why? Because they feed them. They feed them, right? So it says, verse 7, the cow will graze near the bear. The cub, the calf will lie down together. The lion will eat the hay like a cow, right? That's something different, right? No murdering, no killing. Not even animals will do that type of stuff, right? All that violence going on in front of the kids. No, the baby's gonna be able to play with them. Imagine y'all just think about what animal that y'all want, right? That y'all can't have because y'all know, like, man, that's a dangerous animal. Me, I want a lion. Yeah, I want a lion. I want a lion, shoot, a tiger. You know, shoot, what else? A jaguar. I want a black one too. Yeah, so I like dogs too. I love dogs. I would love, but dogs, we get that now, right? We get that now, right? But man, imagine y'all having a pets like that. Beautiful animals, absolutely gorgeous, right? These are the things we're going to be able to do, right? No more being subjected to the things of this world. Shoot, we get cut by a screw on the ground, we can get infected and die, right? We can get an infection. We are subjected to everything right now, but it will be flipped. That's the best example you can have for, where it says in Corinthians that we will be changed to mortal to immortality, right? So it says, verse 8, the baby will play safely near the hole of a cobra. Y'all know what a cobra is? I'm pretty sure y'all know what it is. That's a very dangerous, poisonous animal, right? It says, yes, a little child will put its hand in a nest of deadly snakes without harm, right? Because we're not going to be subjected to death anymore. We're not going to be subjected to the things like fire, like cold, like, come on, none of that. All praises, because the glory of the Lord will be on us. It says, nothing will hurt or destroy in my holy mountain. Nothing, right? That's why these things will be as such. Some things we've never seen before. For as the waters waters fill the sea, so the earth will be filled with the people who know the Lord, right? So we know this hasn't come to pass because these things we have not seen. So it says, in that day, the heir to David's throne, right? I want y'all to hear that, will be the banner of salvation to all the world. The nations will rally to him. Who was it talking about? Hamashiach. Isaiah prophesied about Hamashiach. Time in and time out, right? Just like when he told the Lord, man, in book of Nicodemus, when he brought him up from hell, when he was crucified on the cross, he brought him up from hell. He was like, man, I prophesied about these, right? And he said, he's like, I told y'all, all praises, So Isaiah prophesied about Hamashiach. So he's in the Old Testament. You just got to search out the matter. Verse 10 again, it says, in that day, the heir to David's throne, not David, the heir to David's throne, Hamashiach, Yahushua, him, right? The heir to David's throne will be a banner of salvation to the world. the nation will rally to him. That's why we're called the house of David, because the covenant was made with David. We're that lineage, right? And Hamashiach was going to come from his seed, right? His heir. And it says, in the land where he lives will be a glorious place. In that day, the Lord will reach out his hand a second time to bring back the remnant of his people, those who remain in Assyria, in the northern Egypt, in the southern Egypt, Ethiopia, and Elam, and Babylonia, Hamath, and in all the distant coastlands, right? He's going to bring us back to our land, all across the four corners of the world. Heck, there might be some people still in Assyria, right? Like I said, in Jerusalem. Pretty much all of the, we know pretty much of the categories of the groups to be in there. But, the point of the fact of the matter is, he's going to bring us from the four corners of the earth and return us to our homeland. And it says, he will raise a flag among the nations and assemble the exiles of Israel. He will gather the scattered people of Judea from the ends of the earth. Then at last the jealous between Israel and Judah will end, right? No more envying each other, because I know our people go through that today, and it's because of the Deuteronomy curses, right? Rebelliousness, but none of that envy will go on. We will love each other, and we will be in harmony with each other, in peace and safety, and salvation will be ours. All praises, We're going to be with our Hispanic brothers and sisters, our Northern Kingdom, Native Americans, right? Etc., right? We're going to be with them, and there's not going to be no envy between us anymore, right? And it says they will not be rivals anymore. They will join forces to swoop down on the Philistia to the west. Together they will attack and plunder the nations to the east. They will copy the lands of Edom, Moab, and Ammon will obey them. Right? That brings it past that scripture that says, well, shoot, I can even say Micah 4:13. We will consecrate the gain unto the Lord. He'll make our horns brass, our hooves iron, right? And we're going to consecrate the gain to the world, right? Slakia, to the Father. That's what we're going to do, right? So all nations will be subjected unto him, right? And any nation that says in the scripture that doesn't serve him will perish. So it says in verse 15, the Lord will make a dry path through the gulf of the Red Sea. He will wave his hand over Euphrates River, sending a mighty wind to divide it into 7 streams. So it can easily be crossed on foot. He will make a highway for the remnant of his people, the remnant coming from Assyria, just as he did for Israel long ago when they returned from Egypt. All praises. So we know we still got people in Assyria today, right? We know we're across the four corners of the earth, and he is going to deliver us, man. When all this goes on, man, I don't know if y'all watch like The Purge. It's gonna be like that, man. And America's gonna be like a dystopia land afterwards. They're gonna fall, like it says in the scriptures. The morning star will fall. The stars shall fall from heaven. All praises, man. And the Most High is making everything clear. We got to be close. We got to be at the gates for him to be doing this, right? It's like everything is unraveling itself. It continues to roll out, right? So, man, y'all continue to patiently wait. We are almost there. Hey, continue to do your job, right? Do all that. Continue to live and rejoice, y'all. Rejoice because the time is near. We are almost out of here. So look forward to it. Keep your heads up to the sky. Pay attention to what's going on in current events, because it's going to aid you. It's going to be useful. Lean to the Lord. Lean to the Most High even more, in these times. Let him strengthen you. Let him strengthen your heart. All the nations out there, no matter who you are, You know, his love goes out to everybody. He said he wants humanity, right, to come out of their wicked ways and come to him, right? He wants us to experience what he experiences. You know, he wants us to be at how he is, man. You know, but Satan, the devil, he don't want that. He wants us beneath him, right? He wants us under him. He wants us subjected. He wants us to you know, be lesser than. But Hamashiach said he wanted us to be just as him, as the Father does, right? So uh, we have a lot of good things coming our way. So just patiently wait, continue to push, dwell in these scripture studies, show that self-approved, and just you know, I stress it. Stay watchful. Stay watchful. Hey, I love y'all, family. We got another video coming up, so quickly prepare for that one. Peace and blessings. Giving all honor, glory, and praises to the eternal Father of heaven and earth. All praises due to Yahweh Bashem Mashiach Yahweh Shah. Peace. I love y'all.